So following up with what Michael had to say, first of all, I want to say that the silent auction has ended, and if those of you who have received your winning bidder notifications, please go ahead and collect. You can collect your items for the rest of the evening. This year's silent auction, I'll report all the rest of the results later, but this year's silent auction did 2.5 times as much as last year's silent auction. Thank you, Patrick. Yes, yes. And thanks to all of you. And last year's silent auction doubled the prior year's silent auction, so we're obviously we have a very good trend. I want to follow up with what Michael had to say. When people ask me to shorten my 30 minutes of talk about FA down to a few and talk about the treatments, I say they're in 3 groups. There's one that's making the most of what you've already got. And this drug is in that first category of making the most of what you already got. It's not going to increase your frataxin level. It's not going to fix you, but it's going to help you get by until more things and better things come along. The second category is to let's see if we can basically give you more of this frataxin that is what would try to begin to normalize things for you. And the second group that Sanjay mentioned, this TAT frataxin, does that. Let's see if we can get more frataxin in there, and we can do what is necessary to start helping the people, helping people with FA get back even further towards normal. And the third category that I always say is that these are the ones that could, you might call them cures, you might call them fixes, I don't know what you want to call them, but they are something that you can do that would help somebody long term and be concrete so that they can either return closer to what would have been normal to their lives if they hadn't had FA, or barring that, at least completely stop it and let their body make their own natural frataxin. And that's different types of gene therapy. And I realize I'm butchering the science, Dr. Sanjay, and I apologize, but those are the 3 things that I think about. Michael has given us some really wonderful news about that first category of things and this drug, OMAV, that we really, really hope will be within the next year or so that we can get that drug. Then he also mentioned that second category, but we're far from there. We have a long way to go with that. That's showing really promising results. We have a long way to go. And then there's gene therapy, and he mentioned all those 8 trials. So there is a lot more work to be done. So with that, this is the part of the evening where we ask you to give, and we don't give you anything for your silent auction, and we don't give you much more. Well, that's not true. We have 4 more wonderful acts. But other than that, we're just asking you to give. So if you could, at this moment, if you haven't given everything, if you haven't laid everything out on the table, please open your wallets. Please click that donate button. You can use the QR code to get there on the table. But with nothing else to say, just give as much as you can between now and the end of the next 4 songs when we announce our results for the night. And with that, I think the next we're going to have a word from Straight No Chaser. Thank you all very much.